Yeah, you can see Buddha on the left holding the world. You can also see the Chinese Peking and a dragon. And if you look at the top, you'll see a little man with white hair and a little white beard, pointed beard to the right. Many interesting things on this viewpoint. Here's a better viewpoint here. You can really see the Buddha here on the left. It's another aspect of the Buddha. The lighting's not great, but you can see the Marduk Rigel bird here in the shadow. You also see the little dragon's face here, and the little Peking with the pharaonic hat on here, overlooking the dragon. Here's the Buddha holding the world. And you see the face here that's imprinted here. It also becomes a dragon's eye. And the Buddha down here, it becomes a claw. Anyways, there's that aspect of the Buddha holding the world. Now here I call this Jupiter. It's like a horse type face, and he's holding a little child in his lap that's holding a book. And it used to have feet down here, but they broke off. You can see little symbolisms cut into it. Can't really see the child's face, but it's there. Symbols. Here, I call this Froggy. You see the clown in the middle there. Bobos. You can see on the back the tiny worm becomes the tiny snakes that travel all along. That becomes the snake here, the egg of the world. Now in this, it says I believe 165 Earth ages. Down in here, you'll see the little astronaut man that I found all over the world and all the mountains. There's Froggy. You see the little salamander here. Turn it over and show you the other view of it. When you look at it this view, you'll see the little snake on top here. And over here you also see like a gentleman here with a parrot. He looks like some kind of Hebrew priest, really. And then down in here, you see a man on an egg on a world, and something shooting down here. A polar bear. This becomes a dragon's head kissing a woman's nose. There's the little salamander here. In this aspect, you can also see this face here of the magician. Up here by the salamander, you see what I call the acorn king. And then up in here, you also see an emperor sitting here on the throne. The acorn king on his shirt says G, like J-I. Oh, Helios. The eye of Bogos is really, it's blue. It's really cool looking. Can't really see aspects this great, but this is what I got. Now, this is another aspect. Ancient turtle here. You find in Marcasawa, Peru. It's 165 million years old, I believe. This here, you see the little face of the child. And right here, a little baby black dragon. And his tongue coming out and going into its ear. Really odd. But up at the top, you'll see a markings for March 21st, first day of spring. And then on the top, you'll see a lot of markings. There's arrows, writings. It even says July right there. The way that they've carved it is, it's amazing. You see this aspect here? Let's see if I turn it over. And go back. Alright. This I call Copernicus. Her face here. The crown. You see the horn coming out the head, which represents that. So here's the little Peking doggy. That's my rock dog. That's where the name rock dog came from. This is the little, you can see here, there's a female turned with her back to you, standing here looking out towards the moon and different planetary things. And then you see a different pose of a Nubian male's face here with a red hat and his little white collar, blue shirt, and he's holding an orb here in his hand. Outstretched hand. He's a little Egyptian man. And I really like that one. It's one of my favorites. My rock dog. So you see where rock dog came from? Turtle and bear. The Chinese emperor there, center. You see a horse. You see the March 21st to 23rd on there. Different aspects, it changes to different months. all the little indentions for the sun, little markings. You see the 120 plus there? It's like call this turtle and bear. It's one of the aspects at the right side in the event horizon, right over North America here, or what I call another aspect. You see a little Chinese princess here. Here you can see a man with a plastic node cap on, so I'm sure it's Egyptian. Maybe Israelite, carrying his stuff with him. So one aspect. Another aspect. You see the little frog-like man here, the wooden leg, outstretched hand. He's holding a baby dinosaur. On his coat, there's a lot of star symbols. He's by this thing here that has it looks like a person trying to come through here. A person's body, upper torso. And you see this, where it says end. Right here. And you see a little face of Inky. Inky right here. His eyes, his nose, his face embedded there. Means the ending and the beginning of the stone. When I first took this picture, it said to Dina right there, which kind of freaked me out. Aspect of Buddha. Another side of Froggy on the crystalline side. A lot of planetary information up in there. Cosmos. You see the planets. Okay. Pharaoh here. It's a very blurred picture. It's not coming in on this good. But if you look, you can see a Pharaoh here. His hat. The light over him and his head, top, sitting here sideways. He's holding a throne, a scepter. Anyway, it's there. Maybe that's a little better aspect. Kind of looking at you now. There's writing in there. Here's another. Symbols. You see this man. This is the head of Joseph here. You can see him whistling. He was a musician. On here you see it says seageesee. Up here in his headpiece it says seageesee. Seageesee. And here are some other symbol-like things. You see the ram head here. The symbol of the ram coming off of his head. You see his eye. The eye is a different color there. It's quite lovely. I found the other one like this in pre-dynastic Egypt. There were 4 little white marble heads or busts. White little cream colored, beautiful little statues. Well, this stone just like this was found in there. They've called the head of Joseph as well. That's why I'm calling it this pose of it. It is as above, so below. I actually had 2 of them I found in the same area. It's about 30 miles from each other. The funny aspect of Bobo on this side. Looks like somebody peeking out there. A little Apache looking out at you. Pointing to his right eye. Here's some really odd faces. You kind of see a little alien looking guy really with some glasses on. see in this area here, Native American Indian with his feathers and his headpiece. There's his eye and nose and mouth. Yeah, there's definite carved out things in these black parts here. Oh yeah, the tiny man. Oh. This is the aspect of the man holding the child on his lap. You could see he's sitting there, his boots here. That boot had broke off. It used to be, you used to be able to hold it right there. I broke it, dropped it in the wrong angle or something. Yeah, this is a lot of information in this stone. It's ancient. That's why they called it the Stone Age. They used stones for the declinations of the sun. All the ladders. They go in there and you could see like Buddhas. Up, down, upside down. There, you can see the face a little better on that angle. Probably one of the Pharaoh's likenesses. Possibly one of the Mayans. Who knows? You see a little Antillean smiling at you from underneath there. Go up, there's other little faces carved in. This angle, you'll see the Egyptian face. Big old, beautiful blue-gray eye there in the stone. This aspect here is also, when you look at it, I'll try to use my arrow to point here. Right here you see a little Apache man hiding right here in his arm, his head, his hair, in the eye. You also see a woman here with a turban, and right next to her looks like her son, possibly. Next to her, she's got a little pink bow tie on to match her little pink turban. And right here in the crystal around her neck, it says Ageless Giza in the crystal. It's beautiful. And when you look back in here, you can see the pyramids. What I believe was the waterway that went to the Sphinx. Here. Anyway, amazing stone I have here. The angle's got to be just right. You can see a face and a head here, overlooking a cave system here. That's an amazing aspect of the stone. There are so many, though, amazing aspects here. Another face. Symbols. Another symbol is, I call this the Sea King. Lips are red, mouth open. His eye, his lips, his nose, his mullet, his ear. He's got some kind of little, looks like some little vases and some little trinkets and beads and stuff in here, like built into his hat. But you can always look at them like they're planets as well. Alignments, planets even. Some amazing stuff in this stone. Another little X. Oh yeah, the Temple of Buddha. Temple with the Buddha in here. Little ladders. There used to be 2 Buddhas, I thought. Soldier looking to the right. Like his brain exposed. Some little symbols down in here that are hard to see. The light's not just right. Oh. Ow. But you can see in there any aspects there. Yeah, that's odd. Many odd things. Snake head, cobra head, smiling. This is another aspect of Buddha. Let's see inside. It's all blurred out. Okay. Still not very clear. But you can see a little face on the left hand side. Like Mercury, winged cap. Really, really bad. Bad aspects of this side for some reason. This looks like a weird kind of nuclear bomb or something going off. Inside of a cave, you can see like jars to the left or the right there. Bunch of bottles and jars. I don't know. Odd. It's almost like full paintings on this thing. There's some heads. I see a woman here. Her face, body, holding a baby. Crystal Mayan face. This is the caveman Native American. You see he's got a little fish there with tiny lips next to him. It's a prehistoric blind cave fish. Which it also says Earth Ages here on this part. Oh, and the little turtle on top. Stairs going up to the two Buddhas. The mountainside. All kinds of stuff in there.